doctor. I already knew.
You have at least 9 months left, perhaps as much as 18.
But the first doctor gave me from 1 to 2 years.
I hope he's right. What are you going to do?
Well, I have no family. Haven't taken a day off since law school. Guess I'll try to squeeze 30 years of living into 1 or 2.
You didn't hopeless, Mr. Bryan. Research is being done, and you'll be in good health until the last few weeks. So always let us know where you are.
Hoping you'd say that.
Does that mean you want the special?
I want the special.
Special on 1. Coffee, tea, or milk?
How's the coffee?
Hot.
Oh, thank you.
Where you headed?
East. Probably farther than you're going. My car broke down a couple of miles back. I've been trying to get a lift. I turned down the only offer I got. It was some man, kind of creepy looking, like he sold embalming fluid or something. Is something wrong?
Well, it happens that I sell embalming fluid.
Oh, I'm terribly sorry. I didn't mean... Oh, wow, for a minute there, you really had me believing that.
What's your name?
Kathy Sloan.
Mine's Paul Bryan.
Hi.
Where are you from?
Lincoln, Nebraska. I'm going home from visiting a girlfriend in Los Angeles.
How old are you? 15, 16?
I happen to be 19, if it's any of your business.
I'm afraid it is, because you look as if you happen to be 15.
Well, I'm 19, nearly 20.
You prove that, you have yourself a lift.
Do you think I carry a birth certificate with me or something?
Driver's license will do.
I don't have a driver's... Thank you very much for stopping for me, but I've decided I'll walk. Will you let me go? You've got no right
Now, your car broke down, but I didn't pass a stalled car, and you have no driver's license.
All right. All right, I lied. I'm from Arcadia, and I don't own a car. But I am of legal age, which gives me a right to go wherever I want to go. So now you give me a lift to let me out.
Now, miss, there are two things I try to avoid. Wet feet and mixing in other people's business. Now, the law says that until you're 18, you're a child, and children have a claim on all responsible adults, whether the adults like it or not. Now, you go around hitching rides on highways, you're wide open to getting yourself killed or worse, and my conscience can't stand the strain.
What are you going to do?
Take you home, hand you over to your parents. Now, listen. You either go back to Arcadia like a lady, or you go back tied up like a cocker spaniel. Now, which will it be?
You're going to go to jail, do you know that? For kidnapping. Go ahead, laugh. But I happen to be an adult with rights, and there's such a thing called the Lindbergh Law.
Alma? Alma?
Yes, dear.
How is she?
Dr. Lewis says there's no need to be alarmed. He's with her now.
Thank goodness.
This is Mr. Bryan, Henry.
What was my granddaughter doing in your car? Does she know you?
I found your granddaughter on the highway, hitching rides. I tried to bring her back, but she jumped out of the car while it was moving.
I find that rather hard to believe.
You can believe it.
How is she, Will?
She suffered a concussion, apparently a mild one. She'll have to remain in bed until I can get back here.
Did she tell you what happened?
Yes, she told me. Now I'll tell you. She was running away from home.
What?
Mr. Bryan could just as easily have left Kathy lying out there on the highway. Most men in his place would have done exactly that. Or worse, not try to bring her home at all.
I'm sorry.
Oh, that's all right.
I hope this hasn't delayed you too much.
Oh, not at all. Matter of fact, I intend to stay in town overnight. Want to make sure she's all right before I move on.
Well, that won't be necessary.
I'm afraid I'm obligated to. Legally, I mean. And besides, since she really is 19, she may want to sue me.
You ever study law, young fella?
Just enough to stay out of trouble.
I know you won't mention any of this, Mr. Bryan. People would be bound to talk.
Don't you worry about anything, Mrs. Sloan. I happen to come from a long line of closed-mouthed people.
Thank you, Mr. Bryan.
I hope that's not a gun you're reaching for, Brian. Resisting an officer is against the law.
What do you have to prove you're an officer?
County Sheriff Ralph Trumbull.
Your way of introducing yourself isn't easy on the nerves, Sheriff.
I take an interest in strangers. It goes with my job. I thought I'd stop by and ask a question or two. All right with you?
I guess so.
You in Arcadia on some kind of business?
No.
Friends here?
No.
What line of work you in?
At the moment, none.
How long you plan to be with us?
My plans aren't definite, Sheriff.
Information doesn't exactly pour out of you, does it?
Not when I see no reason to pour it.
Got something to hide?
Don't we all?
I'll ask you again. How long are you planning to stay in Arcadia?
What do you have to know?
By your own admission, you have no visible means of support. Under the laws of this state, that makes you a vagrant, subject to arrest.
No visible means isn't evidence of vagrancy, not in this or any other state.
Brian, don't give me any jailhouse lawyer talk. I've got a job to do. When it calls for me to ask questions, I want answers. Simple, quick, and straight. Understand?
Your job is to protect people's rights. You're violating mine. Now show me a warrant or get out of my car.
I want you out of my town, first thing in the morning. Clear?
There you are, Kathy. Aren't they lovely?
You know, if you hadn't brought me those, I think I would have sued you.
The thought crossed my mind after I bought them. Goodbye, miss.
I don't think I'm well enough yet for you to leave town.
Now, wasn't it 5 minutes ago that you told me that in the opinion of Dr. Lewis, you were well enough to go out to dinner tonight?
Kathy, you didn't.
I certainly did.
I'm flattered.
Oh, Paul, must you leave today?
Well, I have a long drive ahead of me. I haven't even packed. Goodbye, Mrs. Sloan. Thank you for the breakfast. It reminded me of home.
My pleasure, Mr. Bryan.
Be good.
Goodbye, Paul.
Goodbye, Mr. Bryan.
Thank you.
Hello?
Kathy?
Yes, who's this?
Your friendly embalming fluid salesman.
Where are you calling from?
All the way from the Arcadia Hotel. I decided to stay a while.
Long enough to take me out to dinner?
I'll think about it. For a second or two. Are you sure the doctor said it's all right for you to go out?
Honestly, he did.
I'll pick you up at 8.
7:30?
Make it 7.
I'll be ready. Goodbye, Paul. Just don't see giving up a perfectly good job to go batting around the country. You must have a flaw in your character or something.
Well, I started out batting around Europe. But people kept asking me questions I couldn't answer about America. So I decided to come back and take a look at it. Off the main highways.
I'm glad you did. Are you taking me home?
Well, your grandmother said a reasonable hour. Doctor's orders.
10 o'clock is not a reasonable hour. There's a side road up ahead. Turn left and keep going till you get to the river. You needn't look at me like that. I'm not planning to seduce you.